I discovered that my mic wasn't muted at all. Dariasirene speaking. I asked you to ask me questions about myself and my music throughout my socials so I can make a Q&A video, which I'm doing today. Thank you so much to everyone who responded and had very good questions actually. I'm sorry if I didn't pick your questions today, but I did try my best to include everyone, so I hope that you will find yourself. Before starting this Q&A, I'd like to present today's sponsor. Drumroll! Today's sponsor is DistroKid again! They were so sweet to reach to me again and sponsor this video. I had done a previous video explaining what DistroKid was, so if you want to watch it, click up there and I'll also leave a link in the description of this video. Today I wanted to talk about Splits, which is powered by DistroKid. Because it has become so easy to collaborate with different artists, DistroKid created a tool that allows you to easily pay your collaborators. You can simply find this tool on your menu on your DistroKid account. You're able to add unlimited collaborators to your track. You can also change any times who earns what percentage of the track's benefits. You can add or remove collaborators, and if anyone gets jealous, no one can see who earns what percentage. And of course, as always on DistroKid, you earn 100% of your benefits. Each collaborator will need a DistroKid account to collect their earnings, but if they're not already on DistroKid, they'll have a 50% discount to sign up. For anyone who is interested in signing up to DistroKid, I have a VIP link, which is distrokid.com/VIP/Dariasirene, and you'll get 7% off your first subscription year. Link in the description below. Thank you so much to DistroKid for sponsoring this video. Okay, now let's get answering some questions. I'm sorry if I pronounced everyone's username wrong. I'll try my best. First question, where are you from and when is your birthday? I already answered this question in my About Me video where I go more in depth of where I'm from, but I'll answer this one briefly. I'm from France and I've lived in 2 different cities there. I've lived in Paris and Bordeaux, which is more in the south. And my birthday is April 6, 2001, so I am 20 years old. Thank you Hey Ariane and Danny Tremilia for this question. Question number 2. What do you study and what is your education? Well, I'm actually currently a 3rd year at University of Westminster and I study an undergraduate diploma. To be more precise, it actually is a music BA, performing, production and business course. So we have a specialism that we need to choose, which I'm doing performing because I really like doing everything. So when you're performing, you need to do your own songs, so that includes producing, and you also need to market yourself, so that includes business and kind of like learning about marketing and how the music industry itself functions. Before going to University of Westminster, I actually studied a 1-year HNC diploma in ICMP, which stands for Institute of Contemporary Music Performance. That was actually during my first year when I just arrived in London, because before I was in an international school in Slovenia, where I graduated 1 year early, so I could actually do this diploma, which lasted only 1 year, before actually deciding if I really wanted to do this as a full major. I think that sums up this answer. Thank you USAMV and K for this question. Question 3. What was an embarrassing situation in your life? Oh gosh. So basically in 2015, I was 14, right? So I did this musical at school, and so the musical was called Sound of Music, which is actually a very popular movie and theatre. They have a lot of songs that are really famous, like Doe, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun. A name I call myself, for a long way to walk. I got the lead role, and basically I had this headset that is attached to you. From your ear, it goes like next to your mouth, and it basically is attached to your face this whole time. I actually had to change quite a few times of outfits, and the person supposed to mute my mic actually just forgot to do this. And so I had this box attached to my clothes because this is what wirelessly connects my mic to the main mixing desk. And so I was changing and basically one of my clothes got stuck. So I still had my mic and I had a helper with me, and she was like helping me like take off my dress or whatever, and this got stuck, and I kind of not yelled, but I was just like in shock telling her, oh, it's stuck. And basically I kind of hear my voice from like a distance kind of echoing, and I'm like, that's weird. And basically after, I discovered that my mic wasn't muted at all, and during this whole time, everyone could hear what I was saying in like the main speakers, and everyone heard it so much. Like at the end, they were like, oh my gosh, you know, we could hear what you were saying all along. I was like, oh no. That was so embarrassing. So I guess that's like a good story. Thank you, Mary Chan, for this awesome question. And now question 4. What do you do when you're in a creative rut, also called a creative block? This is actually a really good question. Thank you, Dariasirene, for it. Being in a creative block is actually like really common amongst like artists in general. I think like whenever I don't know what I'm doing, or if I'm like not motivated to do something, I just do something else. Like for real. I think like having something that motivates you will actually help you in getting over this creative block. Like for example, if you have like a music video that you know you're gonna do for a track, like I had like this song and it was a while like sitting there, and then somebody heard it and was like, let's do a music video on this, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And that actually really helped me just go over this like thing of I don't know what to do with it anymore, and just like pushing myself and pushing and working to actually finish this song to the point where I was like, okay, my reward is I am doing this music video, and just pushing myself like this. Otherwise, I would advise you to actually think differently. So if you're in a habit to always start your music from like chords and then going on from this, I would advise you to maybe like do the drums first, or do like a synth first. Otherwise, maybe just go out, you know, like sometimes you kind of need inspiration or something. Like inspire yourself from the world that is around you. Work with somebody, like working with someone, or getting like an input from like somebody else. It actually really helps, because then they get this like fresh idea for you. And if you're working on a track for so long, and then like I get so bored of my own tracks when it's out, I'm already bored of it, just like because I've heard it so many times, and like EQing so many like little things. Being a perfectionist also sometimes will put like you into a creative block. Well, maybe just whenever you have an idea, just go for it. Like go an hour with it and just see everything you can do basically in that 1 hour, and then just come back like another day or something. Finally, I think listening to other music actually really helps me getting through this creative block. Like watching music producers producing their own track, like seeing how they do it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he did this like this, I want to try too, like, you know, kind of doing this basically. Okay, question 5. Do you think about living in another country in the future? I live in like London right now, and to be honest, I've lived in so many different countries like Russia, Slovenia, France, and now I live in the UK. And I think I've kind of found my place. Like I really love this city, and I kind of want to stay here. So I'm actually planning to stay here, especially because now I'm going to be more independent. I'm like getting a job and stuff, so I do nevertheless want to earn enough money to be able to go to Japan like once a year maybe, or like something like that. But yeah, to respond to the question, I really want to stay in London, and that's my goal. And thank you, Paolo L369. I think that's right. So thank you, Paolo, for this question. Question 6. What software do you use for music production? I use Logic Pro as my main software. I think it has a lot of tools for just like music creation and coming up with ideas. And then for more like technical stuff, I use Ableton, just because I have like an Ableton push, and I've been rehearsing on my Ableton push to do some stuff, exciting stuff. I'm using more and more Ableton because of this. Thank you 7.4 KT for this question. Question 7. Where and how did you learn music producing? I actually started producing when I came into ICMP, because before I actually didn't really know what even like a music software was. I never thought I could actually like make my own music, produce my own music. I started learning like at my uni on Logic, because that was like the standard DAW that we use at ICMP. And then I actually got fully into producing when I came into University of Westminster, because I had like an awesome teacher, and he really helped me in just like getting the basics, more basics on like the DAW, and actually motivated me to produce more and more. And then I looked into like internet, of course, like a lot of music producers do, just watching other producers produce and talk about like what they do and like any tips they have. I wanted to do like one-on-one tutorials with my professors at university. I just learned on my own as well. It's like a whole process really. And thank you, Alan So Produce, for this question. Question 8. This is a question from Hugo. Where or what venue would you most want to perform in? Okay. What's like a big venue in Japan? I really like the Roundhouse. I saw like Alan Walker at the Roundhouse. I really like venues that are not traditional. if you know what I mean. Like magical spaces, not like your typical venue, but even typical venues, to be honest. Like, I'd be happy to sing anywhere, literally, as long as like some people are watching me. Yeah, wherever really. And question 9. What is a situation in your life that affected you and taught you a lesson? Okay, this one is actually kind of hard to tell, to be honest. It wasn't that long ago. Like, when I came into London, I looked into being an extra for movies or anything like this. And I went to this agency and they asked me like all my details and like taking a picture of like my passport, my card details even. Like, they took a picture of everything. And as a fool as I was, I accepted. My mom was just like, why the hell did you accept? Like, you should never actually get anyone to like take a photo of like your card or like passport if it's not like official. Like, if it's like a random agency, then you shouldn't do this. And basically I was so scared. Like, I was just like, oh no, they have like my whole details and stuff. And we later discovered, like with a bit more like research, that it was like probably a scam. Like, we weren't sure 100%, but we wanted to take like no risk at all. I actually went back and asked like to like get my details like deleted and everything because I wasn't interested. I was so glad that I didn't sign anything yet, like contract or anything. I could just be like, okay, I'm leaving, I don't want to do this anymore. So please just be careful of like what you do and who you are sending your details to. I had to like make my passport again and bank cards again, so please just be careful, especially if it's like a contract. Everything in a contract is written in a form that, if you're not a lawyer and you don't know law or how sentences are kind of structured, then take a lawyer or have so many people read it. I don't care if I'm being a bit like annoying or anything. I will ask like questions to like whoever is sending me the contract to be sure that I understand everything fully. And because once you sign the contract, you need to do what the contract says, and if you're not happy with it, then that's where the problem goes. So yes, lesson learned. Thank you again, Mary Chan, for this question. Number 10. Kaden Scene said, what advice would you give to an inspiring singer-songwriter? Well, just for the subject before, read your contracts. And maybe if you're not producing yet, get a producer that really gets what you're doing and understands you. Because for me, because I'm producing myself, I can do whatever I have in my head, right? But sometimes it's actually hard when you're a singer-songwriter to communicate that to a producer. Otherwise, I would say get into marketing. Marketing aspect of being a singer-songwriter, especially when you're starting out and you don't have a record label, it is super important. What exactly is the targeted audience? Like, who are you reaching out to? What is your niche? Because for me, like, my niche is like manga, anime, like electronic kind of people that like this, and this is what fits me because I love this too. If you don't market yourself well, nobody will hear your music and then you will never be discovered. So I think that's like an advice I would give. Question 11. I don't have enough fingers. When did you first start singing? Thank you, Walt Aoi, for this question. I can't actually date like when I actually started singing because I've always been singing my whole life, literally. Like, when I was 1 or 2, like, my mom would put music on and I'd just be like spinning around and like singing, and that was like my favorite thing ever. Like, I just started singing as well just because I enjoyed it. My grandma was like a musician, my mom as well. Yeah, I think it's like just like this music environment that made me want to like just sing and do music. Otherwise, it also touched to this question that was asked by Gory. Thank you so much for this question. When did you start taking music seriously? I think that was when I went to University of Westminster, which is when I actually started doing my own stuff, because in ICMP it was more like cover song. University of Westminster, they emphasized more about like your own music, your own brand, being unique basically, and that appealed to me like much more than just doing covers. But I still love doing covers, of course. Like, I'm doing this for this YouTube channel. So yeah, taking music seriously, that was like 3 years ago, something like that. Yeah. Question 12. Mikachu Official said, what type of kid were you growing up? I actually was really shy. I was probably one of the shyest kid out there. Like, I know that kids are generally shy, but I feel like for me, that was like even more. I wouldn't really have so many friends because yeah, I was just like a shy kid. I was quite joyful too. I've always been into kind of like girly stuff, pink, purple, I was drawing a lot, and I was so much into Club Penguin because I was actually homeschooled for quite a bit because of like things that happened at school. I would never really was like a problematic kid. I tried my best to just be good at school, I guess. Homeschool kind of made me a bit more introverted, I guess. When I went back to school in Slovenia after 2 years of being homeschooled, this is when I actually gained a bit more confidence in myself. During the musical that I talked about like at the beginning of the video, that actually like grew my confidence so much more. I like lost weight, which made me gain even more confidence because I was quite like shy about my weight. Like I've always tried to like hide my body, and now I feel more confident to dress like truly myself and like expose myself a bit more, I guess. Anyway, next question. Question 13. This one was probably the most asked question, which was what motivated / inspired your music career? And this one was from Lara, something I can't pronounce, which ends with Raguez, Alex, Jinwoo, and Len PG's Sekai Daily. Thank you all for your question. Going back to this musical that I did, I think that was like what motivated me to kind of drive myself into this like area. But I kind of felt like this was impossible for me, especially because I thought that it was just like such a hard industry. And my mom actually was the person that motivated me the most. She encouraged me to do this HNC diploma, and then she was just like, you know what, you should do this. Like she encouraged me, like whenever I have a new track, she's like there, or whenever like a cover comes out, she's like, oh my gosh, it was so good. So yeah, she encouraged me a lot, which is very lucky because a lot of parents, they're not supportive of any of like the art industry because they think it's not a real job. And if you're a parent, please don't think that, because it actually is a real full-time job and it needs to be here. Artists that inspired my music career, I would say would be Hatsune Miku, because I've been listening to Vocaloid since like I'm able to use like internet. So I had like a computer, like a very old computer when I was at my grandma's, and I was just like listening to all the songs, play Club Penguin. I was also very influenced by Nightcore, which I know is not like an artist, it's like a kind of like specific genre. So I would listen to a lot of that because I was into anime. And usually in Nightcore, like the thumbnail that they have or like the like theme for Nightcore is like anime. So I was just like, ooh, what's that? I actually was also inspired by classical music, just because like my grandma was so much into like classical music and she would not let me listen to anything else. I don't listen to classical music so much, but whenever I hear like a classical piece, like it drives something in me, and I kind of think that like classical music is like engraved in me. Question 14. What do you do in your free time? I draw. Depends like how in the mood I am for drawing, because sometimes I'm in the mood, sometimes I'm not. I don't force it really. It's just like whenever I have something I want to draw, I'll draw it. And most of the time it's actually for album covers or just stuff like that. So yeah, I love going out with friends, and I love going out just in general. Like London is a very beautiful city and there's always something to do, except when it's freezing, well, like because my hands are always cold. So yeah. Oh, and I also annoy my cat when I'm like not doing anything or bored. I'm sorry. Thank you RP Muna for this question. Question 15. Official Emma said, what is your favorite color? Whatever is like pastel color, like anything that's like soft. But usually I would go for pink or blue or purple. Like these are my like 3 colors go to. Like whatever the gradient between like pink, purple and blue is, that's my favorite color. And this is actually like kind of my brand kind of color. Like I use it in all my aesthetics. So yeah, that's my favorite. Question 16. Next question is by Mayo Walker 3 and Arazos Music. I'm so sorry, probably I pronounced this so wrong. And Enigma Wolf. Will you ever collaborate with small level producers or with different artists? I already collaborated on 3 of my tracks that I have out, and I'm like even collaborating right now with like different artists. So yeah, I always collaborate. I just can't accept all the time like collaborations just because of like time managing. I'm really sorry if I can't always accept your collaboration opportunities, but I'm so glad that people want to collaborate with me. That always like makes me like really happy. So thank you to anyone that did that. Dan Green said, if you had to live in an anime world, which anime would you choose to live in and why? Hard question. I think I would choose to live in the fruit. I talk all the time about Fruit Basket, but please, this is such a good anime, and the animation though, the art is just so beautiful, and everyone there is like so pretty, like girls and boys, like I don't care, they're both like so pretty, and their eyes are amazing, and like just everything is so pretty, and this is why I just want to like live in this world. Also because there's like a little bit of magic in there, just like the zodiac sign. I think that's cool. So yeah, Fruit Basket. Carlo Forco said, if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why? Well, this question is quite easy because I would totally go for flying powers. Fun fact, I've actually done some pilot lessons before, and I really love just being up there and just looking, like the view is so beautiful, and basically if I could like fly, that would be amazing. That would be my favorite thing to do. I would like fly above London, kind of like Peter Pan, and I would just like, I don't know, it'd just be so fun. Yeah. Tapia Sashi asked, are you a full-time or part-time YouTuber? Well, I'm actually none of these. I don't really earn money on YouTube. Like, I've got like 2 sponsored videos, which like is really great. Yeah, I don't have enough views yet to be like a full-time or part-time even. This channel is mainly for fun and just to like reach out to you guys, discovering new people that like my voice and like my music, and building a fan base, and this is what is the most important thing to me, and just sharing my music and my happiness, I guess, just because I'm always kind of happy and energetic. The last question for today is by Fred Jimenez, translated from Spanish. What projects and covers are coming? So, I have a few things coming up. I have a track that I finished, and that is in the process of a music video. I'm working with different students from the animation course and film course for this project. So, hopefully this will be amazing, and I think it will be because we did some test shots and it's just so exciting. So I'm filming this very soon, and then of course I have the release of this song too, and I have merch coming up. Just designing this at the moment. Right now I'm a bit busy with the music video and just my work, like coursework, because yes, I still have assignments to do and I still have like tests and stuff, so sometimes. But hopefully during Christmas break I will be able to do this, and I will also be performing a lot more. So for example, I will maybe be performing at the London and Anime Gaming Con. I'm not sure yet, but hopefully in February I will be able to perform there. So really looking forward to this, kind of planning out what I'm gonna do, my set list, and yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but hopefully you guys will like it, and yeah! So that is it for today. Thank you so much to everyone who asked the questions, and thank you again to DistroKid for sponsoring this video. You can sign up to DistroKid by using my VIP link, which is distrokid.com/VIP/Dariasirene, and you'll get 7% off your first subscription year. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned more about me and my music. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram username is Dariasirene Music, and all my different socials and streaming services are in the description of this video. Thank you again so much, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye!